Hello guys, so I'm going to talk about SEO today. We're going to talk about search engine optimization. All right, what that essentially means is making sure your site is found. One of the things of having a particular website is knowing that you have your website, but it also needs to be found. All right, you can't have a website because what you're doing is competing with millions, billions of sites out there, and you're just trying to be found. So how do you get found? All right, that's the thing. It's like there are so many things, and I'll tell you right now, what I'm covering is very, very much the basics. SEO changes literally on a daily basis. All right, strategies and statistics and stuff like that basically make it, hard to stay up in the current, top 10 list on your search engine. All right. However, SEO and search engine optimization is very localized. It is very, very centered on where you're searching a location from. So we're going to talk about that today. All right. The idea is getting discovered. There are three primary ways a user finds a specific site. They either type in the address of the URL bar of browser. So what that means is that you see brochures, you see ads, you see everything, billboards that may have website addresses on them. All right, people see those, they will maybe jot them down, they will type it up in their browser to go to that particular site to get what they think they need. That's one way. The second way is browsing through links and advertisements. All right, if you're on Facebook, you may notice that you have ads that pop up every once in a while. All right, those ads either lead to a particular portion of Facebook, or it also leads to a particular page on your website. All right, so there is basically having to discover what the links through that way. That's another way. But then the third option is just searching a topic in the search engine. Most people, if they're looking for a topic, they go to Google. They go to any other search engine out there to go ahead and find something that they're looking for topics on. So what are the types of search engines? There are crawler-based, which are find sites using spiders to crawl the web and index content. Google and Bing are the two very popular search engines out there, and they are crawler-based. And when they send out spiders, what that means is basically bits of code that look for keywords and basically index your site, basically storing your site information into a database somewhere, so that when somebody does a search, they can refer to the database first before they can actually go out and to this look online. So if they're looking for that's one way of doing it, but it does take time because they don't send out the spiders all the time. They send it out periodically to refresh some of the content to basically get more information. Directories. They rely on volunteer editors to evaluate sites for a specific topic and determine whether they should be listed in the directory. DMOZ.org is actually a very well-known directory that is very, very difficult because it is all volunteer-based, and a lot of times they don't put things in all the time. So other directories is like if you're part of associations or websites that you possibly pay a subscription for, you can be part of a directory. I'm a wedding videographer, and one of the biggest member directories that I'm a part of is the knot.com. But there's also Wedding Wire and all these different sites that you put your name onto or pay a subscription to allow for people in a specific genre to be looking for you in that directory. But there are also what are called black hat versus white hat strategies. All right, these are very, very, Google does a very good job of trying to take out all the black hat websites out there. And these are methods of tricking or not tricking the search engine. a couple, let's say 15 years ago, what we could do is that we could actually, let's put a keyword. If there's a certain keyword that somebody's looking for a site, we put that keyword all over the place on the page. We would put it in the background. We used to hide it in code. We used to put it in as alt text for the image. We put it in the paragraph. We put it everywhere, and that used to work. But now, if you try and do that, if you put that keyword in there like several times, and Google looks at it and says, "Hey, yep, you're trying to trick us," it will penalize you in the ranking of your site. That is what's called a black hat. White hat is doing things the correct way, all right, including keywords within the content of your page, in the heading of it. You can even include it in some alt text as long as it does relate. You do not want to do it in. I've had people who have tried to put alt text in just what has looked like a horizontal line code, and that was a black hat trick. Now it's just basically, if your keywords are within content that is being read by the viewer, that is what's referred to as a white hat trick. There are keywords. All right, keywords are essentially the elements that you go ahead and type out your keyword. And so you're looking for a particular keyword, you go to Google, you type it in the line. That's all it is. So you have to do some research as far as finding out, okay, what is it your clientele, your target clients are putting in to try and find you. That takes a lot of research, takes a lot of marketing and stuff to figure that out, but it can be done. Also, designing for spiders, employing keywords on the site in a way that provides the most value for search engines. A lot of the times what you want to do is, on a certain page, have a heading that describes that page. Don't make it vague. All right, having it kind of stand out as far as what that page is all about is easy for spiders to see. So make it easy for them to find these keywords that they're looking for. There are internal SEO factors, setting up internal website strategies. This can start with the domain name. Domain names you want, if you're looking for, let's say for instance, Saginaw, Michigan wedding videographer. All right, I can do SaginawWeddingVideographer.com or MichiganVideoVideographer.com or MichiganWeddingVideographer.com. All right, some of those domain names can be keywords. A lot of times you also have to look at what the user is looking for too. So you want to make it maybe easy for both kinds. So, but also figuring out a whole strategy as far as where are they going to, that whole sitemap thing, the whole user diagram, those elements that will lead you through those particular sites. Then external SEO factors, rankings based on site popularity. One of the things that's beneficial nowadays with social media is that Google actually ranks your search engine based on how popular you are in social media. So it's hard. You're not just doing a site now. You're actually having to have a presence on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like Snapchat. Even now we're going into TikTok. All right, having these external SEO factors that bring or direct to your site is critical when you're dealing with search engines. You can also pay. You can pay Google to run ads and have it ranked. If you do a search for Google, you may notice the top 5 spots are what are called sponsored or paid positions. So you can pay to be put up in the top rankings, but again, you have to put it in your budget for marketing. Right. So being on search engines, you have to develop a strategy. You have to to figure out what tricks are going to be are working nowadays. All right, the most basic element is just making sure there's keywords that somebody's going to be looking for on your site, and making it easy, not making it trick the search engines. And also, one of the biggest things is update your site often, right? Make a blog, add more content in there, because if Google sees that your site is updating often and adding new content, it'll rank you better because it looks like it's an active site. If it's not active, then it may shoot you down farther in the search engine list. So, all right, so that's it for today. So I will talk to you at the next video.